Alright. What's up, guys? It's your boy Jeff, and it's your boy Tim coming to you with Extreme Comic Table. And our first topic on Extreme Comic Table is actually something what Lucio Perillo and Vera Bambi actually called him out on this. So I'm wondering what everybody thinks about this. And Tim actually gave me a good point of view of one of Perillo's covers that actually he took reference of her.
Still there?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. You actually invited me, and it just wanted me to go back.
No. I did that. I did that. My bad. I was showing the cover up. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah. See. So yeah. So Tim, what do you think about the whole incident with Perillo and So what do you all
Sorry about that.
You're good, Tim. So what do you think about the whole?
I'm trying to see what my options are here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. We were talking about the Lucio Perillo controversy with the model who believes that he's using her image.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So what's your take on this?
Well, I mean, let me ask you this. Do you know whether or not that image there of her in that very seductive pose has been published anywhere?
Image was shared on Instagram. She's an Instagram model, so I'm not surprised.
Right, but Instagram is not proof of ownership. Instagram, everybody, once you put your photo on Instagram, I don't believe that there's any kind of proof of ownership. Has that been published anywhere, like in a magazine, to where she's actually been seen and been paid for that image?
Not sure, actually. I should actually look it up. And
see, because there's an interesting controversy here. I don't know if you remember or not, but way back in the day, when Doctor Strange had his new series out back in the I want to say early 90s or maybe even the late 80s, there was an issue number 15 with Amy Grant, who was a Christian singer, and they used her image
I remember that.
on the comic book.
Right.
Well, that image was from one of her albums. It was from her, I believe it was a greatest hits collection album. And she actually sued Marvel and tried to get the comic book from being distributed because there's a few ideas behind it. First of all, it was her image. It was a published work, which means that it was a published piece of material, like an album cover. And she's a Christian artist, which being published on a comic book that has dark arts and magic and beasts and animals, it may disform her image, her public image. So she not only tried to sue, but she had it blocked. But eventually it got published anyway. I mean, it drove the price up of the book to about $12 back in the day, but it eventually settled back down to maybe $3. It's not even an expensive book. You can still find it in different places. But that was a lot different because of what the process it went through. It was a published work. They literally just picked her image off of that album and just placed it on the cover with I think it was a green or a red filter.
I remember it was a red. It was a red filter.
It was a red filter. Yeah.
It was a red filter.
One here, we've got a very seductive pose of a model.
Right.
And I believe that he might be using this particular model as a reference, and maybe using her image, maybe her facial structure, her bone structure. Maybe she's even seeing some of her photos that she posted. She's posted some of the photos, and I've seen them side by sides, and man, it looks a lot like her.
Right.
But she'd have to prove it. She would have to prove that that was her and that was a published work. And
Right.
You know, he's just using her as a reference. You know,
Yeah.
if I use the Encyclopedia Britannica to draw
Right.
a picture of Abraham Lincoln, I know just using that as a reference point. But you know, I don't
Yeah.
owe the Lincoln Memorial Society any funds for using his likeness in my
Right.
comic book.
Yeah, like the other cover, the other one
Yeah,
he actually says that this one I know for sure it was on Suicide Girls website.
right.
There was a Suicide Girls post that she did that looked similar to this, but it was like a bondage looking cover, but she had
Right.
like a whip in her hand, but instead of the whip they put a sword in the hand, and she overlaid that picture. So
Well, in that case,
yeah,
the model herself, may not have a case.
right.
I
Suicide
think once
Girls,
again,
man.
this is just
Right,
you know what I would surmise, but maybe Suicide Girls, the
right,
website itself, who may
right,
maintain ownership of the photo,
right,
they might be able to keep it from being published, because if they own the image, then they should be compensated and or maybe, you know, notified
right,
of that image being used, because it's
right,
not public domain or, you know, free realm.
right. Yep. Gray Man's in the chat.
Hey, what's up, great man? How's it
Hey
going, my
man,
friend?
Gray Man's in the chat. So he'll
Yeah,
be in and out.
I love his shows. The Gray Man just rocks.
Yeah,
I love his
yeah,
jingle that he has at the beginning of his show, his little theme song.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I just love how he's been traveling to different comic book shops and
Mm-hmm.
spending some money and getting some back issues, some filler issues, and
That's
I
always
love
cool.
watching his beard show as well, where him and his buddy, they sit down and
Yeah.
they'll go through some craft beer and give their viewpoint on it. Right on, Gray Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's in my top 10 of 5 to watch and to comment on.
Yeah. What one thing about that is I followed her before I started following Perillo, so I kind of, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
It
sure,
does,
sure, sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
because the big thing with her was that I found out she was like she makes it public record that she was dyslexic and she owns her own business and everything. You know what I mean? That's what I respect about her is
sure.
that she did it all on her own and she's dyslexic and is showing people, hey, I might be dyslexic, but I still work hard. I work really hard at what I do, and I'm making my own, my own way, pretty much. You know
Sure,
what I
I
mean?
get it.
So
Yeah, I get
yeah,
it. I totally get it. And you know, I wish her, I wish her all the success in the world. She's a beautiful
yeah,
lady, and
yeah,
she would be honored to be used as a
yeah.
reference.
Use
Um,
as a reference, but
she was
the way,
she was getting a little weird where she was saying she was creeped out because apparently he was like stalking her on social media, but it seemed
right?
like she was reaching out to him. So I'm like, that could go
Well,
either way.
well,
I mean, if a
well,
pretty girl of
you
that
don't know for
caliber would
sure,
reach out to me,
but you don't know for sure. You know what I mean? You don't know for sure how which way it would
yeah,
go. Yeah,
yeah, I'm not. I don't
yeah,
know who started
yeah,
what and who talked to
yeah.
whom.
So yeah, right.
I'm
So
just going by what the story is
yeah,
lying
yeah,
out.
yeah. I mean, I thought it'd be a good topic to bring up, honestly, because
Yeah,
Martina, was it Martina caught doing something, well, nothing similar, but something like copying other artists and using other artists' work.
yeah. Cover swipes. Yeah, he's been using
Yeah,
poses and
right,
layouts of the covers and just kind of swiping ideas and just using his own artistic style on top of that particular idea. Whether he's using it as a template,
right,
that remains to be seen, or if he's just using a visual.
right,
But some of them are spot on. So I'm going to guess
right,
that there might be some copying going on with like some,
right,
overlaying.
right. But
So they
like
can
the
scan it
thing with
digitally now these days and just add their
right,
own touch to it.
right, yeah, yeah, like Perillo probably, he probably painting and looking online, finding, trying to look for some type of reference to draw or something. It's understandable that he comes across her. You know what I mean? It's like he
Well,
probably said
let me
typed in
ask you this.
Vampirella. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do you
Uh-huh.
see the difference between a hand-drawn comic book and a digitally rendered comic book?
Yeah, I can see the difference.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you can tell
I
the
know.
difference.
I remember hearing Todd McFarlane talking about, when he was drawing Spawn, and he bought himself the art pad and the
Yeah,
program to digitally render stuff. And I mean, it makes him work 10 times faster, which means he
right,
can produce much more work. But
right,
quality. I mean, there's definitely difference in quality.
right,
You can see small line movement.
right,
I can definitely see it. But then
right, right,
again,
right, right.
you got other artists like Ethan Van Sciver who just did Cyberfrog, and I got to admit, that one was hard to tell because it was
Right,
he uses so much of the cross stitching and the shadings that it looks like it's
right,
rendered, you know, pencil to paper,
right,
and it
right,
just
right.
looks so nice. I'm not sure if he did it that way or not, but a lot of these professionals, they use the digital
Yeah,
transfer on the pad, and to me, it doesn't capture the image as much as it were if it were just pencil to paper and then inked and then colored. But that's just because I'm an old schooler and I like
right.
comics from the '60s and the '70s, and you know that's just the way they did it. Took a
Well,
little longer.
Grayman got a question for everybody, I think.
These new rules now, rules about
What are you talking about, Grayman? Oh, probably the YouTube thing. The how it about the kid thing, about how you have to do your videos and tell the video on the thing is you it's not for kids. That's probably what
oh
he's
yeah,
talking about.
yes, you got to make it sure if it's kid friendly or if it's
Right, right, right,
not
right.
for kids. Sure, you got to.
But if it's one thing it is, if it's kid friendly, you won't get monetized, you won't get likes, and you won't get all this other stuff. But if you said non kid friendly, you'll get the monetization and all this other stuff. So that's probably what he's asking. I'm assuming that's what he's asking.
And
Or
I actually
unless,
thought it was the other way around. I thought if
yeah,
it was kid friendly, that you will get monetized, and if it wasn't kid friendly, then you probably won't. Because if it's not kid friendly, then that means it's not for all audiences, which means
yeah,
that it could be of a
yeah.
certain nature that most people don't want to be advertising on that channel.
No, I
So
think here he goes.
yeah, the Kappa crap, Kappa, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
the kid thing. Yep, that's what he's talking about. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
rules are rules, man. It's their platform. Just try
yeah.
to
But
abide by it.
yeah, because I watched other YouTubers talk about it. They say the other guys are saying if you say non-friendly, you'll get you get better you get monetization and stuff like that. But if it's kid friendly, you're not gonna get none, pretty
Yeah,
much.
I think I just heard my
So
son come in. Logan,
Yeah, I'm right here.
hey, what's going on?
Listen,
Yeah, been on in. That's my son back there. Can you see around the corner?
Yeah,
Where you at?
kinda,
I don't see him.
see him.
I don't,
Yeah,
I
there
don't
he
see
is.
him.
I see his hand.
Where are you at?
right over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
his hand. I
just
see his
because
hand.
how far deep he has to come into the room. I heard the
Yeah,
door crack open. Yeah. Am I being too loud? Okay.
yeah. And then
No, I'm pretty good. I could use a pair of pants. I'm not wearing any pants right now. And we get to decide our comic bids, our kids, and we can say that they're not. Yeah, yeah. You can get in trouble.
yeah. We can because honestly, you can get demonetized. Well, not demonetized, but you can get fined pretty bad for it. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is the comic vault. This is part of the comic vault. Yes, this is my huge collection. This is actually a 15 by 15 foot room, and as you can see, the comics go all the way to the roof and all
yeah,
the way to the side here and all the way to that side there, and there's just so much to see in here, my friend. And there's just stuff laying around. I can just reach in the boxes and pull out a Moon Knight #1. I've got an amazing X-Men run that I'm working on that is not in the box yet because I'm still working on the run. And usually I'll hit that run pretty hard and I'll try to get it, taken care of. So then I'll slide it in the box, put it in its place. Yeah. I've got 3 Vault videos now, and they should all be grouped together in my Vault
Playlist.
playlist. So if you've missed them, go back and check them out. And I've also gotten Hauling Booty, where I spend $20 at a comic book store and just basically loot their dollar bins and see what I can come out with, showing that a lot of these comic book shops still have a lot of gold in their, their dollar bins, and they don't even realize what they have sometimes. And that's okay. That's cool. We do the same thing at my comic book shop, where we put a lot of really cool keys. Like somebody just pulled, what was that book? Not only did they pull a Gideon Falls #1, but they
Right.
pulled the, what is it? What was that one that just got optioned? Unseen, or the
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah, I think it's
Unseen?
yeah, I think it was Unseen. Yeah, that it got auctioned.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep on tuning in as much as I'll tune into your videos. I try to make as many comments as I can.
Yeah.
With all the comic book guys that I support. I can't support all of them, or I can't comment on all of them all the time, but I
Yeah.
will make my rounds, and sometimes, I'll spend like 2 afternoons just watching videos. I kind of separate them and try to hit them one at a time, and watch. I try to watch as much of the video as possible. Sometimes the Gray Man has those beer ones, and sometimes I'll fall asleep to them. I'll just put them on and I'll fall asleep to it. Not saying that he's boring. It's just that sometimes they're an hour and a half for the beer ones, and I'm like, at least he's getting the views. I want to make sure he gets those views.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing that I don't like is when people will watch the video and then you go to your analytics and you see that most people are only spending a minute and a half on an 8-minute video. It's like, okay, so they're tuning in for a minute and a half somewhere, and they're probably fast forwarding through all the schlock just so they can see the books. And that's cool. I'm totally cool with that. But I try to go on my friends and just press play and just let it play all night, just to get their viewership up. It's not cheating, really. It's just playing with the analytics, because we all need that kind of support.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then didn't you say Greg? Who was it? Greg Land or Greg Horn uses porn stars as a reference?
Greg Land. Greg Land used to use
yeah.
Playboy magazine and swimsuit magazines, and he used to use those as a reference, sometimes as a template. I think he would. Hey, what's up, Perry? How's it going, man? Perry Comics is in the house. Perry's cool. I love his late night lurking, and he'll always chime in. What's up?
Hey, if you're down to jump in, I sent you an invite, Perry. So jump on in if you want to. I sent you an invite. And then
there are so many great comic shows. It's hard to check everyone's stuff, and that's absolutely correct. From the aggressively relaxing. Yes. There's just so much to see on YouTube. What
you got in your box?
What do I got in my box?
Yeah, what's in the box?
What's in the box? I tell you what's in the box. I got all kinds of stuff in the box. What's in the box? I got all kinds of stuff, man. Here's one that's really nice that a lot of people are out there probably looking for. Check that bad boy out.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
That's the original Ant #1 from Arcana. Cover B. This is a very tough book to pull. Probably less than 3,000 copies of this book are out there. Ant has now been seen in both Spawn and Savage Dragon. She's supposed to have had her own book, an Image, and I have yet to see it come to fruition. Let me see. What else do I have? Oh, look, that's another beauty. That's an Ant #3, probably even a lower print run. The first issue was printed, I think, a little higher. I think he didn't print a lot of the first 3 issues from Arcana, and then I think he reprinted them again with another company. And I think they were easier to find. Here's a beautiful Spider Woman. This is number 40, first appearance of the Flying Tiger. I think that's a Leola cover. Beautiful
cool.
artwork of Flying Tiger coming out of the building with Spider-Woman. Love me some Mike Grell, and here's a nice John Sable's Freelance #1.
That's cool.
I need a wall of monitors, right? You know, kind of like the Joker's Den. You know, you need all those monitors to chime in on everybody and kind of see what everybody's doing. Although Perry does that on Late Night Lurking, he only uses just watch them all at once. I do, yeah. I try to. I've got 3 jobs. You know, I'm a professional actor. Perry wants to be Ozymandias from Watchmen. He does. Yes.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. he just wants to. He wants to be available to everyone. And he's doing a great job at it. Let me tell you something. I think one of the tightest shows that's out there right now is Perry Comics. He's starting to get a lot of
traction.
Not only just subscriptions and followers, but he's getting a very good flow. His timing is improving. And this is just from a performance standpoint. I wish I had his equipment. I know he's got a nice microphone and stuff. That's what I'd like to invest in next. I have no job, and I watch and comment on lots. Yes, I know. Critical Mass early appearance of the Terror. Yeah. Terror's a really cool character. He's been around since medieval times, and basically he's got a mystical arm, and he can just basically replace body parts when they malfunction and break down, and he just steals them from other people. Yeah, it's a really cool. It's a really cool character. He went on for quite a bit. Yeah, I got comics everywhere, man.
Yeah. Well,
so many comics that make your head spin.
Yeah, it's fine. If you want to show them, I said if you want to show them off, it's fine. Because that gives that Tim segment showing off Tim's collection.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can just pick a box, you know what I mean, and just dive in.
Yeah. Go right ahead, man.
I hate this book. I can't find a place for this book. This bag. I actually opened this one. I wanted to see what it was like on the inside, but I've got a couple more lying around. But this one has the bag still.
Right.
I don't know. What do you want to see? Comics? You want some comics? I'll show you some comics.
Grayman got a question again.
Is that Terror Incorporated? Yep, that is Terror Incorporated, my friend. I love Terror Incorporated. That was an early appearance of Terror in Critical Mass, book 3, I think it is. Critical Mass Saga is book 3 of 7. Yeah, that was an early appearance of him. I think he actually made his first appearance in St. George, issue number 4 or 5. Might even be number 2. But all of those comics that were based in the UK, I love getting, British comic books. I got my Doctor Who books. I've got my Transformer books. I've got my Action Man comics, all the weeklies that used to come out in the UK. I've got a bunch of those. As a matter of fact, I just got 2 issues off of eBay of the Transformers that have an appearance of Death's Head. I've got the first appearance of Death's Head in Transformers, and I've got like 4 or 5 other appearances, but there were 2 that I was missing, and I went online and I got 2 copies, beautiful copies, and I can't believe that they actually made it to me in like tip-top shape. And I got 2 more issues knocked out on my list for my Transformers UK with appearances of Death's Head, because I'm a huge Death's Head fan.
All right, I got the question for you. Do you have any Grails left? Yeah. Any more Grail books left on your Grail list?
what I'm in the process of doing right now is, as you can see, all these beautiful white boxes behind me. I've been able to go through. About 70% of my collection, rebag, reboard.
Right.
I was just telling you that one that I just rebagged maybe 4 years ago is now in need of a new bag because I've probably bought a cheaper quality bag. But I've been going through my entire collection, rebagging, reboarding, individual one comic per bag, sometimes 2 to 3 backboards per comic, depending on the value of the comic, and sometimes even using a Mylite or even a Mylar for a more expensive book. Anything over 50 or $100, I'll put it in a Mylar. First appearances, first issues, all go in Mylars.
Right.
For my long-term storage, filler issues get the regular comic book treatment. But I usually bag and board everything, and I've been going through things. I've been replacing things that are damaged. If it's less than a 9, it's replaced. If there's a corner dent or paper fold, or I replace it. Spine ticks, I don't want more than 3 spine ticks. If I can get away with that, I'd rather have it a nice clean book. And that's what my entire list is. I've already got most of the books that are on my list. I just got to replace them with higher quality copies, if that makes any sense.
So we got to get a hold of Mr. White Glove so you can get a comic reader.
Right.
A comic reader.
Yeah, I'm not that picky when I buy comics at my local comic shop. I probably spend about $150 a week. Please don't judge.
Yeah. I think Perry's in your neck of the woods. Like I think Perry's amount is probably around yours. I think. Yeah, mine's like $40 40 to sometimes $70 a week. So that's
now keep in mind when I buy, since I work at the comic book stores, I have a higher discount. So I do get more books, but if I'm paying $150 with a higher discount, that means I'm actually getting more books.
Right.
Does that make sense? Yeah, and I get cool with the first dibs for the variants and the 110s and things of that nature, especially if nobody else is looking for them. YouTube's
Chad. Yeah, what's up, Chad? One of my boys from Miami. What's up, Chad?
Miami. I love going to SuperCon in Miami. Yeah, that's a fun show.
Yeah, I've actually met Chad and met Javi, Hialeah, and all them out down there. So that was really cool when I met them. So we became a lot closer. Like Steve took us down, and Steve actually drove me down there. 4 a.m. I woke Steve up at 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning, we drove down there. It wasn't even noon by the time we got down there. So that was pretty fun.
Right on. Yeah, that's a nice drive. I love going down to Miami and Fort Lauderdale. It's a nice, simple drive. It's nice scenery. I usually take the Alligator Alley. It's kind of fun. What's up, Jeff? I'll be there at SuperCon next year. Yep. Right on.
Yeah, he'll be at MegaCon too. We're trying to get him to come down to MegaCon too, but he's having a baby soon.
Oh, right on! Congratulations, man. Yeah. I'm trying to give mine away. I got 3 of them, and they're actually all adults now, so I don't have to worry about them. I've got one who's just drove up just today. He left me this morning, and he drove up to South Carolina to go get his wife from training. She is in advanced training for the Army for a rank. She's trying to get a promotion, so she has to get specialty training to get that promotion. So she just graduated. Matter of fact, she graduates on Tuesday. Wish I can go and be there. Tia, yay! Congratulations on graduating. Hope you get your bar rather quick, and you guys get settled in because they're newlyweds. They literally just got married in October. So, how could you afford 3 kids in comics? I work on the streets, man. Nebraska Avenue. There's a lot of stuff. I've got 3 jobs, dude. I work at 2 different comic book stores. I'm a teacher, and I'm a professional actor. As a matter of fact, anybody in the Tampa Bay area is more than welcome to come join me at Pirate Water Taxi in downtown Tampa by the convention center. and enjoy a night of Festival of Lights for Christmas, where I get to play an elf, and I still got my nails from my Halloween gig. Look at that nail! Look at that.
Yeah, I see.
I don't want to. I know it sounds funny, but I cut these. I cut the other one. I cut them all, but this one here, it helps me go through comic books. It's a tool.
Yeah.
So that's crazy, right? It's creepy. Look how creepy that is.
It's not that bad.
That's
man.
a real nail.
Yeah. Hey, it's not like the Asian people that got the pinky to pick their nose with, or pick their ears with.
I got that one still too. That's for my cocaine habit. No, I'm just joking. I don't have a cocaine habit.
Yeah.
But I was playing a character for a haunted river tour. Yeah, I had my fingers grown out for creep factor. There's always a need for creep factor.
Mm-hmm.
But Grails. I'm hoping for Santa work eventually. Hey, there you go. You look great as a Santa. You've got that, lifelike. I mean, you got that beard.
Yeah.
And the hair. Absolutely, you could pull it off. Absolutely.
Yeah, because what was it? I asked you if you had any grails, but you're saying you don't. So you probably have most of your stuff you've already. Yeah.
Remember, I don't collect past my age, so I was born in 1969, so I don't normally get any books that are before me.
Okay.
I don't dip into the early 60s. I don't really care. That from my perspective, that history happened before me. I usually collect the things that I was really involved in when I was a kid, and I started collecting comics. I'm I'm getting a lot of my comics graded. Yeah, as I showed you, I was getting some really cool books graded. I don't know if you saw some of the ones that I had last time. But
Raymond might not have seen it, so let's see if we.
And I've been getting a lot of 9.6s. I don't know why. I love this Dazzler #1. It's just a box and a nice new case. It's just a beautiful book. Nice and black. Can't see it because of the light. Let me see if I can get the little.
You're good. There we go.
Cross lighting.
All right, I got a question, Tim. Do you put those things in Mylar, or do you leave them in that normal bag they got?
No, Mylar bag. If you give me a moment, I can get down an actual box of.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
Give me a minute. I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll show you what I can pull for you.
Just be careful.
Oh, what a mess.
Well, it looks
So
just
here
like mine.
Huh?
I said it looks just like mine.
Well,
right now,
this is a really cool box. These are mini corrugated CGC graded boxes. It's made from corrugated plastic. As you can see, it's a white box.
What's going on with me? Not much. Just or trying to organize in my comics here.
Here's one for everybody out there. Everybody ready to get jealous?
Yeah. Little closer, Tim. Yeah, right there.
We've got an 8.0 Werewolf by Night #32, and that's signed by Doug Munch.
Right.
So that's the That's the story. He's the writer, so he's basically the creator of Moon Knight, and that's an 8.0.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a gorgeous book. I just got this back. It was a private signing with Doug. As you can see, hear that?
Yeah, Mylar.
That's the Mylar.
Right.
And it's a beautiful book. Hard to grab at that grade.
Got another question. Have you got any of those slabs with like the rainbow jizz or whatever they call it? The rainbow on the slab. Ooh.
You mean a little Newton rings?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll get one with Newton rings.
Ooh,
Evil Ernie number
that's
one.
One of my favorites.
Came back in 9.0. I was very disappointed.
Wow.
You know that story. You remember that story.
Yeah.
There is not a spine tick on the book, but over here in the back corner, there's a little corner bend, and that wasn't there when I sent it to CGC. And I don't ship my book. My books get hand delivered to CGC.
Right.
So somebody made the mistake of bumping into the damn book.
Yeah.
And it ended up coming back a 9.0. Don't know how that happened.
Yeah, but it's still a good grade for it though.
Yeah.
Because our 8.0 is going for like 100 and something. So, hey Javi, Conquistadores is in the chat.
Hey, right on.
Yeah, hey Javi, I sent you an invite if you want to jump in.
This is a cool book. This is a Witchblade number 60. It's the Chromium edition.
Ooh, I've never seen that before. Right,
man, I got
hold on, the other way.
I can get the glare off.
Yeah.
Nope.
Right.
Nope. Hold on.
No, it's that Mylar. Maybe if you pull it out the Mylar, you'll be able to see it. Yeah, got you.
Well, that didn't work. But yeah, it's a nice little Witchblade book. 9.8.
Yeah.
Chromium edition.
I've never seen the Chromium edition one.
Yeah, it was a back.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't a convention exclusive. This came out in 2002. So this book is already 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. Witchblade number 60, Endgame, part 2 of 3.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Here, this is a cool one. Got a nice 9.6 of Halloween number 1. First appearance of Michael Myers in comic books.
In comics.
Chaos Comics,
That's pretty cool. That would have been a cool one to find in the wild if I could.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I already had met most of them, so they'll get signed at a later date. This was an interesting one. This is probably one of my only CBCS books. And I actually got another.
Yeah, I got a question for you. Yeah, what do you like CBCS better, or do you like CGC better?
See, I used to like CBCS better because the cases were more sturdy. Until of course CGC created even sturdier cases. So I'm really liking the newer CGC cases compared to the older cases, the slim cases. Okay. But this one here is really nice. This was a Heroes exclusive. This was only sold in the NBC store in New York City. This was the cheerleader
Comic-Con
variant. Yeah. San Diego Comic-Con 2006 exclusive variant, NBC Studios. Tim Sale, beautiful cover. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Hayden Pantier, and I already have her 8x10 in her cheerleader outfit signed, and this is going to get framed right next to it, along with along with the action figure that she had as well. So
it looks like looks like Raymond got a question.
What's to stop graders trading your 9.8s for their 9.4s? You know what? I really don't know how these knuckleheads grade, because I can put a 9.4 and a 9.8 side by side, and sometimes I swear to you that 9.4 looks better than the 9.8.
Actually, that question I can answer. I can answer for him. Actually, that question I can answer because we went to Ybor City Comics. The guy's actually walked through CGC before, and he's actually seen them grade. So it goes to 3 steps, guys. It goes to one grader, then it goes to the next one, then it goes to the next one, and then there's a last person that's gonna tell you. They're gonna ask if one of those 3 graders actually grade a wrong, like graded it lower than the other ones or graded higher than the other ones. They're gonna ask him why he graded it higher or why he graded it lower and what he saw that the other guys didn't see. So that would be one. That's one way they grade, and then they would have to towards the end, the last grader, they would have to agree with whatever grade they gave the book. So that's how the grade becomes a grade in the first place. So,
and you know what? I can say that that's a strong possibility that how it might work on a day-to-day basis.
right.
But I believe that there's also a couple fudging where that things just
Yeah.
get pushed along when they get behind and they get overwhelmed and
Right.
over inundated with a lot of books.
Right.
Because just some of them don't make sense. They
Right.
don't,
So-
and it depends on the grader too. But I know
Oh,
about the
okay.
3-tier. I know about the
Right.
3-tier. You know,
I got another question, Tim. Have you got anything that's loose, like a loose well inside the book? Like when you move the book, it sounds like it's moving inside the CGC case.
yeah, I do. I've got a couple of smaller books that have been graded,
Right.
so they're not a tray. So they'll sometimes put a little piece of Mylar inside there to hold it still, but sometimes it'll jostle a
Right.
little bit inside the case.
Okay.
And
So that's probably why that Tarot Witch of the Black Rose moves in my case. Then
yeah,
you know
mhm.
the tarot actually moves in there.
Yeah,
So
and,
that would-
and remember that the well that they use to put the book in, it's set at a specific depth. So if your book
Okay.
just happens to be a little thinner, it might move around a little bit easier. I know they don't
Okay.
press the book as much as they used to. I know that there's an
Right.
inner lining that separates that book. That's what creates the Newton rings, is that
Okay.
inner lining touching the interior of the hard acrylic part of the case, if it is acrylic,
Okay.
or it might be a heavier plastic.
Right. Because I have one that has a shit ton of rainbow. One of the guys from New York Warriors calls it rainbow jizz.
Yeah, the actual
Yeah.
that's funny. The actual term is Newton ring.
Hey, I know, but I just like his term. It's rainbow jizz.
Right. I mean, have you ever seen oil in a puddle in a parking lot?
Yeah. That's what it looks like.
That's what it is.
looks like.
That's the oil being affected by the water, not mixing, and it creates a Newton ring. Here's a nice one, a 9.6. That's
Ooh, let me put it on you.
that's
So you can show it
Star
off.
Lord. Yep, Star Lord. Number 2, first appearance of the Rocketeer. Matter
Oh,
of
that's
fact,
cool.
there you go, right there.
Ah,
Beautiful,
okay.
beautiful Dave Stevens artwork. Dave Stevens was gone too soon. But huge fan of the Rocketeer. I thought the film was fantastic. It's one of my favorite superhero films. If you haven't seen the Rocketeer, I suggest you go out and see it.
Yeah, those are Rocketeer's one of my favorite movies and favorite characters. I remember when I was a kid, I always wanted to be the Rocketeer. I always wanted to dress up like him and everything.
These were comics that I had gotten when I was a younger kid. I mean, this comic it came out in '82. Got a nice 9.8, and that's Star Slayer #1 because it has an ad on the interior cover of Rocketeer as well. So it's like the first true appearance of Rocketeer. And plus, it's the
Surprisingly, you
origin and first appearance of Star Slayer. Plus, it's Mike Grell. Everybody loves Mike Grell.
Yeah. Surprisingly, you got a 9.8. You said it was a kid, one of your kid books, right? When you were a kid, right?
Yeah, this came out in '82. So in '82, I was in. Let me see. I graduated in '87, so I was in middle school in '82.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm surprised it's a 9.8. You know what I mean? A 9.8. You know,
Right.
because it's been that long. So.
You guys may not believe this, but I was born in 1969, December 4th. So this December, on the 4th, I will be 50 years old. I'm celebrating the half-century mark, so I'll be 50 this December 4th. So yay, happy birthday to me. Drink.
Yeah, don't look like it, man. Honestly, don't look like it.
I stay young by sleeping with bow-legged women. Yeah. I learned that from Captain Quint in Jaws. Swimming with bow-legged women.
What else is in that? What else is in that CGC box? Did you show everything off already?
Everybody's got this book, but this one's signed by. So. Yeah. I bought this one. I remember I bought it for $20. This was during the early days of CGC. It's the old case. As a matter of fact, this is a great way to show that even some of these cases start to turn a little bit, even though they're stored right, even though they're in Mylars. This is Exo Man of War number 0, but this one's signed by Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti. And that was before they were certifying the signatures. That's how far back this book goes.
Okay, I got a question for you. I got a question for you. Would you regrade that one so you can get a yellow label for that, or would you not?
Nah, because I actually held this one in front of Joe and Jimmy. Okay. And when I get my book signed, most of the time, sometimes I even get them personalized.
No, okay.
Yeah. Oh, here's a pretty one.
Okay.
He's been doing a lot of really cool covers for Dynamite. We were just talking about him. Stuart Sager.
Stuart Sager.
Remember we were just talking about Sager. He's doing the Kiss covers right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one was just beautiful, and I love the way he signed it. And this is a number 1. It's a 9/6. This is a exclusive from Bell Book and Comic, and it's a ROM number 1. But cool beautiful pink signature on that cover.
Yeah, I see it. That's nice.
Yeah. That's just a beautiful book. Very, very cool variant. This was one of those late night lurking on eBay. I think I snagged this book for less than $30.
Oh, hey, look. Javi's wishing you a happy early birthday.
Hey, thank you, Conquistadorks. Thank you, Javi.
I sent him an invite, so he should be. he could join us if he wanted to.
Oh, this one's kind of cool. This one's a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 5.
Ooh.
This is the fanboyfilmfestival.com edition. I would love to get this one. I'd love to get this one cracked and get it signed by Tommy. Because cool. It's got a beautiful virgin cover of Tommy with both the green and white Ranger behind
that'd
him.
Be cool. That'd be nice.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a really nice looking book.
Yep.
You know, the Power Ranger books, I got to tell you guys, I always suggest you read it. Kyle Higgins is killing. Yes, Kiss versus Zombies. Yeah, he's Sagers is doing a really good job on those covers.
Yeah.
He did the last covers for Kiss too, and those were Kiss the End. Yep. He did some great covers on that one too.
Yep.
But Kyle Higgins did a great job writing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Really complex. It's not just for kids anymore. Definitely an adult comic. It's really cool. A big Power Rangers fan, as you all.
Yeah, honestly, like I said, I would tell you to get that one cracked and have JDF sign it.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
That is the plan.
I think he made MegaCon last year. He may do MegaCon again this year. You never know.
This one's kind of cool. This is a online exclusive 9/8 with what they call a spot gloss cover, where the white of the cover is just regular plain paper, but the characters of Kiss coming out of the side, which is actually a photograph that's
Ah.
been artistically rendered. You can tell it's a photograph that's been touched up artistically. Yeah, it was good, and it is still good. A lot of the Kiss books are kind of fun. This is Chris Royale, Jamal Ingle art. If you're an Ingle fan, you know Ingle did a great job on Firestorm. I loved his work on Firestorm. If you've ever seen, what was Danger Girl? If you haven't seen Jamal Ingle's Danger Girl book, pick it up. It's a fun read. You know, she's like 8 years old and she's like as strong as Superman.
Oh yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
done that before, but I think he did it a lot sooner than most because that book came out, you know, even before Action Lab was around and they were producing the book. He had ideas of producing that book years ago, and I think it was Hollywood Comics where there was a I want to say it was I Dream of Jeannie comic book, and she made an appearance on the back of the book, and that character's been tossed around a lot in Jamal's head, and he finally got that hardcover out, which is gorgeous. And then he had the series come out and the one shot that came out and the free comic book day one that came out, and they were all just fun reads. I enjoy it. It's a lot like Pretty Deadly. Is that the one that's out now where it's got that little pink-haired comic art girl that is it Pretty Deadly? Not Pretty Deadly.
Pretty Violent.
Pretty Violent.
This
Pretty
one.
Violent. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, that's wow, that's almost like a blatant ripoff of like kind of the same because she's really powerful. Yeah. And she doesn't hold back.
That's like the Kick-Ass girl with superpowers. That's all. That one. Yeah. Pretty Violent.
As you can tell, this particular box is heavy in movie franchises.
That's always cool. I've always like. Ooh.
I didn't like this coming back such a low grade.
Okay.
But here's a nice signed David Tennant. When I got to meet him last time he was here in Tampa.
That's the one you sent off with
Dino.
Dino for Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a nice autograph. What I liked about this issue is that it's Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor, year 3, number 10. So there's a 10 here. He's the 10th Doctor. It's the 10th issue. It's the last issue. And down here it says 310, which when you think about it, makes a whole lot of sense. And they had I love these particular photo covers of these particular issues. There were 3 of them. There was one with Matt Smith, and there was one with Peter Capaldi, and it's a beautiful image of them standing in front of the console of the TARDIS, and David just bam. I mean, that's what I call an autograph on a comic book. You don't have to search for it. It's not in a dark pin. I mean, that thing goes from left to right. You cannot miss that autograph on that beautiful book. I just wish the grade would have been a 9.6 at least. I don't know why it came back a 9.4. Because it literally is brand new off the shelf. I cannot see this is one of those instances where I can't see a single, I really can't see a single bust in color.
Unless they used a black light or something and they saw something with the black light.
Or it's something interior. It could be something inside the book too. It could be a page that, knocked it down a grade. But this is one of my favorite comics or favorite things to watch. I love Doctor Who. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. Here's something that's a little older than most. Let's see if anybody knows this TV show. And this is a 9.2. I challenge anyone out there to find something better than a 9.2. In a book that came out in June of 1976. And especially from this company, because this company was known for having printing errors, cover lapses where the cover was overlapped and it had this big, huge white line going down the spine because it was cut wrong. And this is just an absolutely gorgeous book with a beautiful Joe Staton cover. And that is Emergency, number 1, 9.2. from Charlton Comics, Joe Gill story, and John Byrne art. The interiors is John Byrne. The cover is Joe Staton. It's based on the NBC TV show that came out back in the 70s, with John and Roy, our favorite firemen in emergency, and it just don't get any better than that.
Hey, the Gray Man got something for you.
Wow, very cool. Yeah, I got a friend who was published in a Doctor Who anthology book. Very nice. Let me know what anthology that is, and when it comes to the States, I'll pick it up. Yeah, Carlton, yeah, or Charlton, Carlton. Yeah, I love these Charlton books. Yep, especially if they're based on a movie or TV property, like Space 1999. I'm working on my run on that one. Emergency. I've actually got the big magazine of this particular one, the Marvel movie magazine, which is, I believe, the actual first appearance. So this might be the first appearance, actually. I've got my $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. And then I've got a couple of Blue Beetle appearances. I think I got the very first Blue Beetle in Carlton, where he made an appearance in Captain Atom, back when Captain Atom, when Carlton owned Captain Atom, Blue Beetle, and The Question. So the Question book that just came out,
right,
was had appeared in the Carlton comic books many years ago, and that character goes a little bit further back than most people would remember.
No.
It's definitely before DC.
Right. So what did you think of the new one, of The Question, the new book?
I haven't read it yet, believe it or not. I've skimmed through it. Looks good. It looks very wordy. There's a lot of dialogue. So that's definitely going to be one that I'm going to sit down and read. So I'll probably get all 3 issues first, and then sit down and read it all at one time. That's usually how I do it, with short little mini series like that.
Okay.
Because
That's cool.
I hate having to wait. I mean, I'm still waiting for Batman and the Max #5 to come out.
Yeah.
Because one was supposed to be a 6-issue miniseries. It just came out. She posted on Facebook today. I think, hey, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. As well as Doomsday Clock #12.
Has it came out yet?
Not yet. Christmas time.
Oh, it's supposed to come out Christmas time.
Yeah. So I think it comes out either just before Christmas or just after Christmas. Fingers crossed. Who knows? Yeah. Let's see we've got a bet at the shop to see which series gets completed first, Batman, Max, or Doomsday Clock. Both these books are super late.
I'm calling it. The Max is gonna get complete before Doomsday Clock.
You know, I can understand a 12-issue series running late, especially since the original Watchmen ran late. Doctor Who, the Target storybook. Okay, cool. Right on. So I'm guessing it's a younger reader's book.
Mm.
Usually when it's a Target storybook, it's more for younger readers, young adults, the YA section.
Well, everybody wants to know who actually gave me this book. Tim actually gave me this book.
Oh yeah, Zombie King. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the famous cow scene.
Oh yeah, and that's signed too, is it not?
Yeah, it is. It's signed by right there. Yeah, because everybody always goes, "Where do you got this book, Jeff?" I go, "It's right here." Right next to me.
The zombie molesting the cow, right?
Yeah. Yep. Now
hey, it could have been worse. It could have been the cow molesting the zombie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they shouldn't even start printing them comics until the stories are. Yep, absolutely. I totally agree. Especially if I commission a mini series, if I'm a big, huge company, DC, I would definitely want to see at least an outline of those stories with at least 2 or 3 of the issues already penciled before I publish the first issue. I don't know how these guys get away with it. I mean, Sam Keith, as much as I think he's a decent artist and a unique storyteller,
Right.
he seems to be very late all the time with all of his books.
All right, I
You
got
know.
another. Yeah, I got another one for you. I got another question for you. What was it? How many Kickstarters have you actually? Indiegogo's Kickstarters have you kickstarted exactly?
Yeah, I've got my Cyber Frog Blood Honey
Right.
just came in,
Right.
which is a beautiful book. My God, it was
Right.
super thick, and came with a card, stickers, and some a bookmark,
Right.
and of course, it had an actual title page that was signed by Ethan. So he didn't sign
Oh,
it on the
that's cool.
cover; he signed it on the title page, which is old school. So.
Right.
Thumbs up
That's
on
cool.
Cyberfrog. Story was halfway decent. It was good.
Okay.
It's warming up. It's been a while since I visited Cyberfrog. I've got all the Harris books, and I actually got the Hall of Hero books too. I was a huge Cyberfrog fan. Hey, too many comics. I know that
Hey,
feeling. I definitely
Yeah.
have that problem. Too many comics. What's up? Then I just I did Mitch Birthrights. Red Rooster.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Red Rooster was an awesome. I'm waiting for that one. That one's not out yet. He's been pushing back,
Right.
and
Right.
he's been very kind to send us notifications about what the plans are and trying to get it done. And it's a really cool looking Silver Age type of character. Just looks really, really unique. Seems like a really cool book. I supported.
Did you kickstart any of the Coffin comics? Any of them yet, or no?
I haven't. To be honest with you, Brian Polito's. I've got so many books by Brian. I mean, I started collecting Chaos Comics back when they were Eternity, and back when Steven's still alive, Stephen Hughes.
Stephen Hughes.
Yeah, and I used to see him here in Tampa a lot.
Cool if you had Evil Ernie signed by both, if you signed by Hughes and him,
I do.
That would have been. You do? You have an issue?
I do.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not graded. It's just raw.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've got a couple autographs of Steven. Yeah. So, it's something that I haven't been able to get into because Near Mint, first time here. Hey, what are we talking about today? Comics. New,
old.
Right now we're talking about supporting. We're talking about supporting some of these Kickstarters. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can show you a couple of the Kickstarters I supported. They're on the other side.
Yeah. While you're grabbing them, I'll continue talking about another Kickstarter that I supported was Doug TeNaples, Bigfoot Bob, Bigfoot Bob or Bigfoot Bill. There you go. And that was a surprise. I was expecting a comic book, and I ended up getting a hardcover that had gilded pages and metallic ink on the cover and the back. It was beautiful. And then it came with a companion book, like a sketchbook, which was also hardcover. So if anybody out there loves Earthworm Jim, I would suggest going out and grabbing anything that Doug TeNaples putting out because he's put some quality stuff. See, now that's a beautiful book.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
Who did that artwork? Is that Brian?
Black and white. Yeah, it's Brian's stuff, but it's not Brian. It's it's not Mike Cron. I forgot who it was actually, but it's all the black and whites of the book. It's not even colored. Yeah. And then I got the $80 tier, so I got the art book out of it. The only reason I got it was because of the one thing, the art germ Lady Death out of it. That's the only reason I got this. Well, not the only reason, but there are a couple other reasons. This thing.
So, Jeff, here's a question for you. Why is it that you collect a lot of books that revolve around the female form?
Okay. That's a good one.
You like Lady Death, you like Vampirella.
Right. I like strong females in general because I guess they remind me of my mom a little bit. So, you know what I mean? strong female because my mom was a strong single, you know, raised by a single mom. Dad passed away when I was younger, like when I was like 7. So all I known was mom. So that's probably one of the reasons why I collect like Lady Death and all them, because they remind me of strong and female, you know, strong females in general. So
Right.
yeah.
So did your mom look like Lady Death or Vampirella? Was she that attractive?
No, but she, but it's the concept of them. You know what I mean? I don't just
Totally get it. I'm just pulling your leg.
No. I know, but I'm explaining it where I don't just you know, collect it as the character. You know, I read up on the character too. When I read up on it and I find out how their background, you know, how they were created in the background and how, you know, who created them and stuff like that. If I find it's an interesting kind of background on how they were created, then I'll like the character a lot more. Like how, you know, how Vampirella was created. I read up on how she was. Like the bikini wasn't created by all the guys. A lot of people doesn't know it was the one female that actually created that bikini on her. And that bikini was a lot bigger on her. It was supposed to be a lot bigger, but since Frazetta did the painting, Frazetta just kept shrinking it. She said during one of the interviews I read, she goes, yeah, Frazetta just kept shrinking it and shrinking it and shrinking it. So originally it was, you know, it's supposed to be the old school bikini looking, school bikini. So, but Frazetta kept doing it. She said Frazetta kept shrinking it. Like every other picture here.
Frazetta's into that fantasy art, so you can pretty much guess what his fantasy was.
Yeah.
I need that Vampirella #1, my birthday sister. Yes. That's a key book to get, and we actually had one in our shop last year. It was a gorgeous copy, and we sold it for quite a nice amount for the amount of money that we acquired it for. And I got to admit, that was hard to let go. A Vampirella #1, the old Warren. And I would guess it was a 9.
Yeah, it would. I think so too. When I looked at it, when you looked at it, when Glenn looked at it, they even said it was a 9.
Yeah, I think it would have been a 9, and that's a hell of a book to get at 9.
I wish we could have got Ed on, and Ed could have showed it off because we know who has it.
Yes, I know who has it. Yes, one of my best customers. Yeah.
I would have loved have Ed on here and actually Ed show it off, because I bet it would have either went to me or Ed. I'm glad it went to Ed. It would have been either me or him. So I'm just glad it went to somebody.
Well, did you end up getting 2? Did you buy #2?
Kickstarter. #2 of
Vampirella. Or is that still in the counter?
No, that's
we still have #2. Oh yeah. It's got a pretty big price tag on it too.
No, but you told me it was an okay copy. It wasn't a great copy.
Yeah, it wasn't as in great shape.
Yeah, I want something a little more decent than that one, because remember you told me there was a stain on the cover too. There was some type of stain on it. Remember? Yeah. Yeah.
But I know we have a 3 on the shelf too. September 69. Same as me. Yeah, right on. Yeah.
You got a 3? Oh no, I think who did? I think Ed picked up the 2. I think Ed picked up some of them. Picked up like 1. I think he picked up 2. But you guys still got a couple like low numbers in the box. Like they're $70, but they're not. They're in pretty decent shape. They're at least 9s. Looking at them, they're at least 9s.
Yeah, that was a surprise. That's a funny story, guys. Believe it or not, this guy walked into the shop with a cardboard box, and it was a big square cardboard box. I mean, something you see stored in somebody's garage. And he asked us, "Do you guys buy magazines?" And we're like, "Sure, we buy magazines, especially if they're comic related." And he's like, "Yeah, they're comic related." So he opens up the cardboard box, and inside the cardboard box was a black garbage bag, like a hefty garbage bag, and he's got it tied in a knot. And here he is untying the bag, and then he folds the bag over the box, and inside the box is this stack of raw magazines, not even bagged and boarded. And we start going through them, and on the top there's a couple of heavy metals, and we were thinking, oh, this is a huge run of heavy metal magazines, which is kind of cool. And then we start getting into some UFO propaganda books from the 70s, like, people who were speculating of, UFOs were visiting the planet Earth and Roswell and a lot of all that crazy stuff. And then we hit some creepies, and we got in and said, oh, we got some horror magazines. So these look promising. And they were all from the 70s. So we've got some nice 70s copies of Creepy. And then somewhere around the 30th or 40th issue, we started hitting the Vampirellas. And it was like a virtual countdown. And it was like 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. And we still had a ways to go. And sure enough, when we got to the bottom of that pile, Vampirella number 1 was sitting nice and flat on the bottom of the pile with the rest of the books just pressing down on it. And I was like, I was having a moment. Very rarely do I have a moment looking at comic books when people bring them in for me to buy them. And even Glenn had a moment. We kind of like looked at each other, and we were like, what do you want for these? And the guy was like, And he goes, I know they're older magazines, and they're probably not worth as much as they were. Give me a couple $100. And I'm like, okay. So we gave him a couple $100, and off he went, and we started yanking the books out and bagging and boarding them. And
yeah, I remember the first message I got was the you guys
I can
took
check
the
and
picture
see if we have it.
Yeah,
Creepy 29.
Yeah, you guys took the picture of Vampy 1. I go, I'm coming down there to just look at it.
Yeah, that was definitely a moment. I enjoyed going through that box. I really love going through comic boxes when people bring in their collections, because you never know what you're going to find. I mean, I went through the oddest box today where it was literally split in half with like very current box. It was a long box, and half of the box was stuff like Ultimates and Ultimate Spider-Man, and people are getting rid of this Ultimate Spider-Man. It's getting pushed to the side. How much did number 1 sell for? Do you really want me to tell you?
Tell them.
We normally don't talk about prices in the comic book business, but I'll tell you this: the number 8 was involved. It's a nice book. Yeah, and then the other half of the box was all this great 70s stuff: Dead of Night, some really cool horror books. What was it called? Crypt of Shadows? A full run of Crypt of Shadows, a full run of Dead of Night, including issue number 10, that has the first appearance of the Scarecrow in the Marvel Universe. I said Marvel Universe. There's a Scarecrow in the Marvel Universe. Now he's called the Fear. He's called the Fear something or other, Fearmonger or something like that. But he was originally the Scarecrow. And then it had like a full run of Jungle Action. So all those early appearances of Black Panther, and I was like, wow, this is amazing that these two, collections were in the same long box. It's just amazing. Sometimes when people bring stuff in, you just kind of like, wow, that's really cool, and then you'll get a box in that has, all this current stuff, and it's all trash. It's all just like filler books. And then you'll find like the second printing of Captain Marvel number 1 with the first appearance of Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan on the cover. It's like, where did they get that book? They just got lucky and pulled it off the shelf, and it's like, oh my God, such a rare variant in this box of junk. So I always tell people when they go to flea markets and, shows and yard sales, to go through those boxes really fine and look at each issue, check for cover variants, check for price variants. A lot of people skip over price variants because they just don't know the difference between a 25 center or a 35 center and when that actually happened, that transition, and which one is the rarer one. Now you got Key Collector out there they're helping people now finding those price variants and those newsstand direct market variants.
Since you're bringing that up, which one do you like better? The key collector or the what's the other one? CBC? Oh no, CBCS, right? No, CBC, yeah, isn't it?
Comic book collector, the one that like I have on my phone. That was more of a
on the
a
go,
guide
right?
to help you collect. It's not really telling you what speculation is on the prices.
Right.
Key collector is total speculation. It's like Wizard 2.0. Because I remember when Wizard first came out. I mean, Overstreet Price Guide has been around for decades.
So pretty much, Key Collector is the new Wizard.
Key Collector is the new app that's basically pushing some of these comics into the bubble. The bubble is what I mean when I say the 90s bubble, when comics were being collected simply for the first appearances and for their investment value. And I got to tell you guys, as a comic shop employee, that's in two different comic shops, two competing comic shops. You don't normally see that, but people take advantage of my knowledge and my years collecting. I can go through somebody's collection and pick out all the keys that I'm talking about, like strange, weird, off DC Marvel keys that people don't. And it's just, it's getting close to that bubble. I'm starting to feel it because there's a lot of variant covers.
Right.
I was, what was I doing? I was looking through previews, the ones that's coming out, the online previews, and I saw that somebody's having a glow in the dark cover. When's the last time we had a glow in the dark cover? Well, we had the Vampire State Building. That was a 1 in 10 glow. So that was an incentive glow, but now we've got a regular glow. And I'm like, oh my God, we're getting back to these covers again. Glow in the dark and foil, and oh my God, I did not like the 90s.
If it does happen, man, I'm still gonna collect, but I'm not gonna collect all that crap. I'm gonna start collecting all the old stuff after that.
Yeah,
if that happens.
Right now, 70s is gold. Anything from the 70s is gold. It's a great way to collect, and some of that stuff is still found in the dollar bins.
Like
just got to be very specific.
Yeah, Vampies are still okay. Vampies are 69. So first Vampire was 69. So yeah, that's 70s area. So yeah.
Yeah, Vampy's a little older than me. I was born in December. I saw the Gray Man was born in September, so he was like saying that him and Vampy share the same birthday. Vampy's got 2 months on me.
Yep. Like I said, that's the main reason I want to collect. I mean, I would love to collect everything from 80, and on, but I know it's not valued. Some of it's valuable, but not a lot of it. But the main reason, like I said, the main reason I like Vampy is I read up on her. I like you told me to read up on the character. You know what I mean? Before you go start collecting anything, read up on her, see why you like her and everything else. I read up on her and Lady Death, and that's one thing.
Here's a
Stabby Bunny.
I was looking at my hardcover collections over here. I have a bookshelf with the hardcovers, and this one's very recent. This is the Stabby Bunny first print hardcover, signed by Richard on the interiors, along with a very limited sticker that came with the book. Everybody was loving Stabby Bunny.
Yeah, I got the opposite one. And there's another Stabby Bunny series coming, isn't it? Stabby Bunny Wonderland or something like that. Stabby Bunny Wonderland. Yep.
It's actually going to be on. I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be in the same universe, but I think it's. Is it featuring Stabby Bunny, or is it going to be one of the other characters from Stabby Bunny?
No. It's a Stabby Bunny's. It says Stabby Bunny Wonderland, so I'm guessing Stabby Bunny's in Wonderland and stabbing people.
Here's something for you, Jeff.
Ooh.
This is called Titans, and this is when Boris Vallejo and Julie Bell did a book for Marvel Comics and did all the Marvel women. So this is a hardcover that has nothing but featuring X-Men, Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, Silver Surfer, and the Hulk. But mostly mostly women when you crack it open. As you know, Boris uses his mirror to look at his own sexy body for reference, as does Julie Bell, because they're both muscle-bound guys. And this is signed on the interior. Most of my hardcovers are all signed.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna end up doing too. Most of my hardcovers are gonna be signed too. Like, eventually, when I meet Joe Hill from Lock and Key, eventually all those Lock and Keys are gonna get signed because they're all my hardcovers, and he's one of my favorite horror writers so far. Well, no doubt because he's Stephen King's son. Yeah, he's Stephen King's son.
You want to see? Do you really want to see something spectacular and amazing? Who here wants to see something spectacular and amazing? Something that you will not find anywhere. So I want to see somebody message us. Somebody message us saying, "Let's see something spectacular and amazing." Anybody comment? I'm seeing if anybody's watching. Who's looking?
Yeah.
Spectacular and amazing. Sorry, don't mean to show you my crap.
It's the first appearance. It's like the
first appearance of my crotch. Enjoy.
It's like the Batawing. Oh look, Steve just said it. Do it.
And I can't find it. I don't.
Yeah, even Hobby says it.
I don't have it in this room.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, how's this?
Oh, yeah. That's signed by Alex Ross too, isn't it?
This is signed by both Mark Waid and Alex Ross.
That's cool.
Of Kingdom Come, the leather-bound edition, and it is a gorgeous book. You don't normally find these in this condition, but no, I have a Batman book. I'm gonna have to pull it for next show. Cool. Stay tuned till next Sunday, which I'm gonna be a little late on because of my gig. I won't be getting out of my gig until like 10, so I'll run home and I'll show you. But yeah, that one's a really cool book. And just to let you know, you're probably saying, "Oh, how do I know that book is signed?" Well,
if it's in Mylar, I would think
it is. Trying to see what else I have up here that I can show off. Got lots of goodies, but these are all pretty current. Oh dear.
Well, don't hit yourself with any of those books if you go grab one.
Yeah, the other one's over there, the Batman book's over there, but I've got Batman. It's called The Greatest Joker Stories Ever Told. It's a purple hardcover edition.
I've seen that.
With,
yeah.
Gold ink on it, and that's my #1 book that I get signed by all of these vintage artists and writers, and I've probably got about 15 to 20 signatures in that one book, and half of those people are no longer with us.
Do you have the Batman companion one to it? You know the Batman
one. I have the Dark Knight companion one. It's all the Frank Miller stories from Batman. Yeah.
So did you have Frank sign that one? Yeah, Frank Miller signed that one.
That's the only person I don't have on that book, but I do have Klaus Janson on that book. Okay. I do have I believe he did I believe in that book there is a Walt Simonson Batman issue that he also signed, because I believe he wrote a book that had a Walt Simonson cover. So whenever I get those hardcovers signed, I get the cover artist, the interior artist, the inkers, the writers, the finishers, whoever's listed on the book, I try to get those signed.
Oh, that's cool.
Greatest Joker Stories Ever Told, man. I've got Terry Austin. I've got Jerry Robinson. He's no longer with us. Martin O'Dell.
I know Gray Man's a DC guy, but I know Steve's a Marvel guy, and I think Javi's I think half of these guys are Marvel guys.
They're all Marvel guys. Yeah, so Marvel at my Marvels. Yeah.
Some of them are Marvels, I think, but most of them are. Yeah, some of them collect I collect everything. So I think Javi collects a little bit of everything too. But I
You know what I
yeah,
do? I collect stuff that has a good price. That's what I collect.
yeah,
If I can grab a great book at a good price, I'll pick it up.
right.
Especially if I know that it's got a key or a first appearance in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know the gray man's probably off, but this is how crazy I am about Doctor Who.
Nah,
I even got the
he's
novelization.
just through watching, so he should be still here.
Yep.
Yeah.
They just happen to be lying right here.
That's what Javi's telling me. A little bit of everything. So he
A little
collects
bit of everything, right?
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
So he's another one like us. He collects a little
Right
bit of
on.
everything. So I showed you this one already, right?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I get a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, me too. I just noticed. I just started cleaning up stuff, and then I made my my sister and my brother-in-law a little gift bag for Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice.
That's I go, dude. I'm not gonna read these, so just stuff them in like a duffel bag, a little duffel bag. Put them in a duffel bag, and just gonna hand them off to him. I'll go here. Because her birthday's December 2nd, so I'm gonna here.
Right on.
Yeah.
So she's still is she a Sagittarius, fellow Sagittarius?
Yeah.
December 2nd. I'm December 4th. I'm pretty sure that's a Sagittarius.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got a bunch of stuff. At least I got all my Christmas stuff out of the way, so that's a good thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I like about having a small family now is that Christmas shopping is made easy.
Yeah. Yep. I only
but
get
I got
the ones that
of a family.
Yeah. I only get the people that only get me gifts normally. The ones that I get. Yeah. So if you don't get, I normally get people that get because every year they always give me something. So I'm like, this year I need to I need to go all out for them because every year they give me something really cool. So.
And just to show that I do collect pretty much everything, this was an old milkshake container. It's got Captain America on it. It's called a milkshake slammer. It's a super serum. Fortifies your body with 20% RDA of 10 essential vitamins and minerals. This one was red, white, and blue vanilla. The ultimate milkshake.
That's funny.
That's you can understand seeing a Captain America milkshake, but this is an ultimate Captain America milkshake. And it's got some very cool artwork on it. He's going, give me my milkshake. So yeah, I've got way too much junk.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to sell it all. So please send me money, and I will send you stuff.
So you would, yeah. So you would auction stuff off with then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So probably when I plan on doing one, I'll probably let you know, and then we'll do one. You'll be pretty decent at auction selling, I think.
Yeah.
As long as you got a PayPal, it should be okay. So you guys are hearing it here first. We may be doing an auction eventually. Ooh.
This is a Godzilla compendium that was put out. This was in 1998. And if you go on eBay right now, you can find this in this condition, probably going for about $120 for this particular book, because it's got every single one of Godzilla's movies, with the exception of the new ones, of course, because this came out in 98. So this one won't have Shin Godzilla or any of those other ones. Yes, I hope that milkshake is red, white, and blue. It is, damn it. It is America. America, red, white, and blue. And yeah, this is in beautiful shape. It's even got a little brailled raised cover of Godzilla, so it's like you can feel it raised up, and the whole title is raised up. You can go on eBay and find out what that book is going for right now, the official Godzilla compendium, and you'll see that this book goes for quite a bit of money. And this is going to get framed with my Godzilla autograph that I acquired before he passed away. The very first Godzilla. Your postage sucks, so auctions don't work for me. Yes. I tried shipping you some books, and you're right. It was very expensive, but I still have a box of books that I want to send you because I actually picked them off the shelf at Nerd Out. And I have been watching all of your, I've been watching all of your videos to see what you're working on. Like I know that you're working on certain runs, and I wanted to get those out to you. And along with some variants and some smaller press books that you probably don't get in the UK.
Right.
You know,
that'd be kind of cool. Hey, look, Robert G.
Hey, there you go. The G-Spot Galvin, sweet king of the king.
Yeah, talking about
Godzilla.
He's a Godzilla fan.
So
Robert,
you know how much this is a hard book to get in this. I mean, this is like brand new, and this is a hard book to get in this shape. Like I said, this came out in 1992. I'm sorry, 98. So this is already 15, 16. Let's see, 19, 20, 21. This is 21 years old. This book.
Well, Grayman goes, I can send you a list. LOL. Laugh out loud.
Yeah, there you go. Email it to me. Email it to me at 4timsg1@gmail.com, and I'll help you fill that list out, man. Yep. That's the number 4, TIMSG, as in Samuel Guerreri, the number 1. So 4timsg1@gmail.com.
Yep. Even Robert, man. Robert, I know you stay away. You stay at 80-something miles away. So, yep.
Nice black and white. Not hearing anything, guys. No sound. Anybody else? Everybody else is hearing stuff. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Give it up. That's on your end.
My end.
Mr. G, did you have that pulp book you were showing off as your stream picture the other night? No, that was this one right here. That was the Godzilla color special, I think. And I also showed off. So
it's Robert's. It's not my end. It's Robert's end because Grayman's getting sound. So.
Yeah, Grayman's got sound.
Yeah, so it's on Robert's end.
And then this was Godzilla in Hell. That was graded. This is the variant cover. That is really absolutely gorgeous. I really wish this damn camera would show this off a little better. But I showed this last week. But I got lots of Godzilla stuff.
Yeah, because you and Robert probably get along really well because Robert's a big Godzilla guy too.
Yeah, I'm a huge Godzilla guy. I just got the Blu-ray collection that has all the Showa films all in one big huge book. That damn thing was like $140, but it's beautiful. Yep, you got it. That's my email. Go ahead and email me your list, man, and I'll happily send it to you. I know I still got your address too. I saved it, so it's just a matter of pulling the books and getting them out to you.
Yep. You'll probably have something from me too, Grayman. I'm letting you know
that my
now.
comic family is always willing to help out and chip in and help pay for postage. So we go together as a group and we'll send an AOK out to you.
Yep.
Because we know you're so lonely over there. And I actually see you conversing with. You got a lot of guys out there that you converse with on the other side of the pond, as they say. And you got a nice audience, man. Robert G was showing off H.P. Lovecraft's Astounding Tales pulp as a screen picture at the Mountains of Madness with the Shoggoth. Yes, very cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's he's looking for a couple of them that are alien related, like where the Alien director got the references from. Those are the pulps.
Oh, H.R. Geiger. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got the there's an Alien one-shot that was a magazine size. That's actually the official first appearance of aliens in comic books.
Okay.
Where it's an all-black cover, and I think it has the Nostromo on the cover, and it just says Alien in black or in like red lettering.
Yeah.
Only that's in the UK doing vids now, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about my cough,
Okay.
guys.
No, you're good. So, what do you think of the new thing of variants, like store variants, 1 in 50s? What do you think of that, Tim? Since you work at the store.
Driving me freaking nuts. That's what I think.
Yeah.
These acetate covers that are coming out for the DC line, they bubble up, so you can't stack them on the counter when you're counting them and you're trying to get your books pulled. So they're just a pain in the ass. Not to mention that they're little.
Right.
You know, you don't want to get fingerprints all over them, and you don't want to cut yourself on the sharp edge. You get paper cuts from handling all that acetate.
Yeah.
Sent by sea, guys. It's a ton cheaper. Right on. I'll remember that when I get to the post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of store variants, the one per store. These secret variants are the ones that I don't like. The one that Marvel does, where there's a slight difference in the comic cover.
Right.
You know, tongue is in, tongue is out, holding something, not holding something. Those need to go the way of the dodo. That drives me freaking nuts.
All right, I got the other one. The other question of the Black Label book, the Batman book. You know, you know what I'm talking about, the Batman Wang book, Batman Penis book.
Oh yeah, that was just
that's
DC. Not DC needs to grow up and just let that kind of stuff get published.
Yeah.
That was no big deal. Blood splatter.
I think it's from one of the
right on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, talking about the acetate stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of you guys who shop with us at Nerd Out just may be taking home a little bit of DNA from your pal Tim.
Paper cuts.
When you're holding the books and you're trying to count them, and the other hand is on the sharp edge. Yeah, man, they get little like really fine paper cuts from the acetate, and I'm trying to hold them gently so, you know, they don't damage or we don't get fingerprints on the cover.
Well, I'm glad I don't get that. I'm glad I don't get no DC acetate covers this month.
And just to let you know, guys, I think I told you this last week, but acetate is a form of plastic, and that plastic on those covers, eventually, that plastic will get so brittle that it'll snap. It's just going to snap. And in 10, 15 years, maybe 20, those staples are going to pull. Those acetate covers are going to be all destroyed. So, I mean, you can go ahead and purchase them because they're kind of cool. But if you really want to maintain those, you may want to get them graded ASAP so they maintain their value inside the graded, you know, book. But, you know, acetate doesn't fold well and it doesn't age well.
But won't plastic and plastic get eventually? Didn't you say plastic release?
And that's another worrisome thing to have to consider. I'm not sure how that book will actually marry into the CGC, you know, case, and whether or not it'll have long-lasting effects or short-term problems. Right.
Yeah. Robert, I sent you an invite if you want to jump in. I sent all
jump
you guys,
in, man.
I sent Steve. I sent all of you guys invites. If you guys all want to jump in, you're more than happy to jump in. I sent all of you guys invites. What's in that box, Tim? Nothing.
That's an empty box. These were autographs. Those are the autographs from last week. Let's see what's in this box. I love going through boxes.
Okay. I'm down. We can have like 5, 6 shows. Oh no, more than 5 or 6 shows in that one room.
Oh, for those of you that are hunting down Revival #1 because of the announcement, that's actually the first appearance of Revival. That's the Image Free Comic Book Day, and I believe that was her first appearance. It was a little prequel to the Revival story. So that's kind of a key book. It's also got Guarding the Globe and It Girl. I love It Girl. It Girl was so fun.
Oh, you said It Girl. I thought you said Hit Girl.
Yeah. These are all recent. This is an image box. This all has. I don't collect all of the image titles. Some titles I'll collect all of them. If everyone jumps in, I can be a single viewer with 6 in the stream. Hey, that'll be fun.
Yeah. No, nobody. Everybody got family stuff to do, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's
Not worried
fine.
about it. That's fine.
I like to collect if I can't get involved with an entire series, but I know it's going to be a limited series in some way, shape, or form. I'll get a first and last. So I'll get the first issue, and I'll get the last issue.
Air Spider. He's the new guy to the comic group, the comic community. Air Spider. Air Spider.
Who here wishes that lasted a little longer?
Invite Grayman.
There you go.
I'm down. Grayman, send me your email and Instagram. I got you on Instagram, so send me your email. Don't invite me. Read Grayman's thing. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, this is all crap stuff.
It's okay.
I got a whole box of crap.
Yeah, read what Grayman said when they said invite
Nah,
Grayman.
don't invite me. I'm in bed naked with my lady snoring beside me.
Oh yeah, it's 10:40 at 1, so it should be early morning on his side, right? Like 3 in the morning on his side.
3:41 a.m. Damn it, man! Get to bed.
Yeah. He probably saw I was jumping on, and that's probably why he's on here, anyways.
See, I know a lot of people don't like Mike Allred, but you got to admit that It Girl was always a cool book, and they just had beautiful covers. And that one was just a beautiful cover of It Girl. Yeah. This is part of the Madman universe, and the Atomics. Familiar. Yep, on Michael Allred's book. So if you guys are Madman fans of Mike Allred, this was a nice, cool issue of It Girl. I picked it up just because of the cover.
Okay.
Yep.
See, look, never heard of It Girl.
Yep. See. Ever heard of Madman from Mike Allred? Let me see. Here's Madman.
Hold on.
Ever heard of Madman?
Oh yeah, I've seen the Madman one before.
Yeah. Mike is he not only writes it, but he draws it, and he's like a complete, creator. Madman was one of his creators. What's his name? Einstein. Very cool character. Slightly insane.
Slightly insane?
Yeah, Mike did a really cool Silver Surfer run, and I think it was volume 4 or 5 of Silver Surfer, and he did a nice little run with really far out, artwork and far out storyline. So you're just playing around. That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, man. What was it? What else is gonna be optioned anyways? That last we heard, something else is gonna be optioned, isn't it? To be movie and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I believe the announcement was.
The Max. I heard about the Max. The Max was gonna get something, and Channing Tatum was gonna be on HBO. I think like HBO or something like that. The new HBO Max thing or something.
Maybe that's the reason why Sam Keith can't put a book out. Is because he's too busy having these meetings with HBO and their publicity department to try to get them licensed property. Because his book is.
I read the article like last I think I read the article like Friday morning when I got off work. I saw
Mhm.
something that was in my feed that they're freaking blowing my feet up. I'm like, looked at it. It was the Max. Channing Tatum was in talks to play the Max or something like that, or something another.
If that was the comic book Max, that would be cool. It's not Mad Max, was it?
No, it's the comic book Max. That's what it was. Yeah, it was that
Max
one.
was a cartoon. Actually, Max was on MTV.
Yeah.
It was during their adult hour.
Adult Swim hour. Yep.
Yeah, well, it had its moments. It really did because it was very out there. It was about a homeless man who dreamt that he was a rabbit
Superhero.
of sorts and a superhero in a
Yeah.
different world called the Outback. And he had his female companion, which I can't remember her name. It's been so long since I've read the book.
Yeah.
I want to say Atlas, maybe, or I might be getting that mixed up with Alice in Wonderland. But it was very similar, and she would deal with him on the reality side and his mental illness, and he would take adventures into the outback, going up against the Izzes and all of the other creatures that were back there. Plus, he'd, foil some crime that was right down his alley that he would sleep in a box in. So he's sleeping in a box, I know that. And then he was sleeping in her apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was Dr. Nobody, Mr.
Yeah.
Nobody, Mr. Nobody, who was the big
Something like that,
comic
yeah.
foil, the big baddie.
So,
Yeah, that was
something like-
that's stored in 1990s part of my brain, so it's hard to recall a lot of that 90s stuff.
yeah.
Early Image. It is. It's very odd. It's just very odd. Julie, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Told you. We got somebody helping us out a little.
Right. The guy who's not reading the book knows the name of the character.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. But yeah, it's been a while since I visited the Max. That ended a long time ago.
All right. And then
I haven't read the Batman Max series because I refuse to read it until they all come out.
I got another one, another question. How people extend their mini series when they say it's only going to be 5 issues and then they extend it to 12. What do you think of that?
Well, DC's done that a couple of times. They've got Dial H for Hero that was supposed to have been a 6-issue miniseries, and now it's going to 12. The Wonder Twins was supposed to be a 6-issue miniseries. Now it's going to 12. And they jumped the gun. They actually, I believe, I remember seeing the old solicits for Metal Men. I believe it was supposed to have been a 6-issue miniseries that's also going to be a 12-issue miniseries. So
that's just weird,
yeah, that's
man.
just
Because
more money from my wallet, man.
Yeah, but eventually it's at 6, and now it's jumping to 12, and then it's like the Vampirella versus the Betty and Veronica one. It was originally supposed to be 6, now it's jumping to 12. So it's like,
well, that one was supposed to be 6 all the way up until like issue 4, but because it did so well, they decided to do a second adventure, and instead of starting over and having a new number 1, they just decided to go all the way to 12.
Well, then that's cool. If as long as they stop at 12, you know what I mean, and then. If it keeps doing well, they're going to keep on going.
You're talking about a comic book company that is well known for their miniseries.
Yeah.
Name one series from Dynamite that has gotten past 50 issues.
Old school Vampy, right? Vampy. What was it? I forgot which one that went up to 20.
Maybe Red Sonja. Maybe Red Sonja. I think he made it to 50.
Right.
Maybe even 60. But that's about it, man.
I know the old Vampys made it one of the older runs of Vampy. Like the first time when they got her, I think it went up to 20-something issues, something like that. Yeah.
Because I know the Harris one went pretty long.
Yeah. That doesn't go. That doesn't really count because it was Harris. But Dynamite's one was Crown of Worms. Is when they started. Volume 1 was Crown of Worms, and that went for I think like 15 or 12 or something like that, and then the next one after that was something lower, and then the one after that one I think was the long one, was the one that went for like 20 something issues. Because Vengeance of Vampirella went for 20-25. That was a Harris.
I think my first adventure into Dynamite Comics was Lone Ranger and Zorro, the pulp characters.
Yeah.
And,
I remember.
I remember that was my first introduction to Sergio Corello as well. That's when I started paying attention to his artwork, at least, because he was doing some phenomenal interiors and some gorgeous covers. And Mike Mayu was killing it on those Zorro covers. And then he had Lady Rawhide. He added Lady Rawhide, and he added what was that other character's name? Lady Zorro. Yep.
Yeah. And then he started doing Vampy a little bit too.
Yeah.
He started doing
Mayu did Vampy. Yeah. There's that one issue that you really want. That one where she's on the mirror.
Yeah.
That's a Mike Mayu cover.
Yeah. That one. There's that one, and then there's the there's Alex Ross one that I want, where she's coming out of the pool of blood, and there's the other one where she's facing the moon backwards. Like, you remember how Frazetta's she's facing forward. There's one, I think it's a 1 in 50, where she's facing behind the moon, in front of the moon instead of facing us. So
I've got somewhere in this mess, I actually have the Harris Vampirella action figure.
Oh,
I've got a rare variant where they packed her with her butt showing instead of her front showing.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Backwards, and I actually got it signed by Jimmy Palmiotti, Joe Quesada, and Amanda Connor. And Amanda, she wrote a really cool little thing on it. She's like, "I know you're staring. I know you're staring at my nice ample ass."
I wouldn't mind seeing that next time.
Yeah, I got to dig it out. I have no idea. I think it's in the other room.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got 3 rooms like this that's all filled with stuff. This is just one room, guys.
So, do you know what your count is at right now? Your comic count is at? No.
No. In this room alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. What's 14 times 4?
Hold on. Give me 1 second. I might be Asian. I'm not that good at math. 4, 56.
Okay, so remember that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 56, right? And then what's 21 times 4?
Okay, hold on. $84.
Okay, so what's 84 plus 54? Or 56?
56. Hold on. You add 140.
140. Then add 13. So add 13 times 4.
Hold on. Hold on. Uh huh. 52.
And then add that to the original number. The
okay,
one.
The
140.
Yeah. 52 to 140. Yeah, 192 in that room.
192, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So do about 235 short boxes. 235 short boxes. There's about 170 comics in a short box.
Yeah, so if I did that number, you're at 427 with the original number. With the original number we had.
Oh no! Did you 427?
Yeah, I added it onto the original number. The original, yeah.
No, I thought we were at 235. 235
Right.
What's 235 times 170?
Okay. Times 170.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Oh crap. 39. Hold on. Let's see
What
if
is
we can
it?
see it.
39,000?
39,950.
That's how much comics roughly are in this one room.
Yep. So Tim's amount is let me write it in the chat to let them know.
That's just one room.
He's at okay. Hold on, I'll put Tim's room. 39,000 dash 9 900
40,000
950.
comics.
Yeah. 90,
Over 40,000 comics probably in this
Yeah.
one room.
950. So let's just say all the room, your other room is like that. So add that with Jesus. So Tim's room count. That's Tim's.
I guarantee it's over the 100,000 mark of individual
Yeah, yeah.
copies.
Yeah. So 39,950. So we'll do the same math on that side. So let's just say it's another 39,050 there. So let's just estimate it's another 39,000 again. So plus another 39,000. Okay, hold on. Let me find the 39,000. Where the hell's that dash at? Jesus, that's a lot. 39,950. So yeah, your amount is just 79,000. 79.
About 80,000 comics.
Yeah, dash 900. Yeah, about 80,000 comics.
Easily.
Yeah.
And that's a rough cut.
Yeah, that's a rough estimate.
Yeah, I've seen your closet. I really enjoyed that video where you were digging those long boxes from that closet in that one room. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Well, my Hulk 181 is probably on the top of the list. My Werewolf by Night 32 was top on the list. I don't know if for you late arrivals.
Yeah.
For you late arrivals.
Yeah.
There's my.
Hold on. Let me put you bigger so you can see that Hulk 181.
For you late arrivals, there's my Werewolf by Night number 32 coming in at an 8.0. And that bad boy is signed by Doug Mensch or Monic or Monk. Doug,
Munch.
he was the writer.
I always call him Doug Munch.
Munch. Doug Munch.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a private signing that he did, and one of my friends who was involved in that private signing was able to get this book signed for me and get it graded because he also does CGCing. Yeah, you don't see a lot of 8.0s of that particular book. That's a hard book to pull of an 8.0.
Because I used to Tim, that's a lot of comics.
yeah, Jeff, that's a lot of comics. That's probably more comics than that Nerd Out.
Yeah, but that's not even counting your action figures. Just imagine counting the action figures you got and the cards you collect. That's a lot of work.
Action figures, cards, hardcover comics, autographs.
Yeah.
I've got novelty items. I got posters. I've got actual screen worn memorabilia.
Wow.
I've got way too much shit, and I'd like to auction it off. And we're going to start off right now with this beautiful Dark Angel action figure with her on a motorcycle. Who here wants to give me $20 for this bad boy? That was from Art Asylum, fully posable, never been opened. This was made in 2002, so this mother sucker is already 17 years old.
Air Spider.
Crazy man like me. Yeah, Air Spider. Absolutely. One day, I'm going to die back in my comic room, and they're going to call the fire department, and they're going to find me here, probably like Indiana Jones, one of those skeletons wrapped in spider webs. And then,
holding your Werewolf by Night.
yeah, my Werewolf by Night, or my House of Secrets number 92. That's another key book that I have that came back a nice high grade. So that was another beauty. Yeah, or my Giant Size X-Men number 1. Start the auction now. Only 4 here, so we might as well get some bargains. Right on, absolutely.
Well, as long as you got a PayPal, you'll be able to do one. As long as you got a PayPal, and then that email's connected to the PayPal, you'll be able to do one.
Oh yeah, I sell on eBay. You guys can go to when I do have stuff posted. I also sell on Mercari. I sell on eBay, and of course, I sell in the store as well.
Yeah. Well, now you're gonna have a 4th place to sell, and eventually YouTube. Eventually, when I start one, so I'm gonna involve you. So that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, you know what? Probably. I know I had something secret around here.
Mm-hmm.
I know I did. And I can't remember what it. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. What's this? That's right. I remember I put this here last time I was working in my comic books. And this thing is. This is the next thing I'm sending in to get CGC'd.
Oh, that's cool. What grade do you think that it's in, Tim?
Honestly?
Yeah.
I think it's a 9.8.
9.8.
That'd
be kind of cool.
There is not a single spine tick on that spine. Look at that black cover, guys. That black cover, absolutely gorgeous. This is the first appearance of the Black Cat in comic books.
When are you going to send it off? When are you planning on sending it?
It's getting ready to go bye-bye.
Okay. For a little bit.
It's in my send-off list.
Okay. So you got a whole send-off pile, don't you?
Oh yeah.
How big's the pile?
Huh?
How big's that send-off pile? For grading?
Not too crazy.
Oh, okay.
Not too crazy. Oh, what's this? What's this? Ooh. 316.
Oh, that's cool. What grade do you think that one's in?
That one, I'll be honest, probably about a 9.4.
Well, that's still a good grade.
The white is not as white as it should be. It should be whiter, but that's really the only thing that's affecting the book. The spine is gorgeous. The colors are nice.
Great, man.
$5 for a Black Cat. Going once. Right on. Actually, I'm going to put that one over here. Yeah.
Is that another one you're sending off?
That's to remain secret, and that's for the next show. People can continue tuning in to see the 80,000 comic guy. Maybe that's going to be my new YouTube handle.
Yeah, 80,000.
People are going to call me Big 80.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, the Gray Man's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sold to me. There you go. He wants that Black Cat. There you go.
Yeah.
I find it funny that we sit around and we like to, look at everybody else's comics and just have a wish list and go, man, I wish I had that comic. I mean, we all do that. I'll watch the Gray Man and he'll start pulling stuff out of his recent haul. And it's just like a really cool comic. And it's just like, I know I have that one in my collection, but I haven't held it in my hand in years because it's pushed back to the back of the room. And I'm like, oh, I'd love to see that comic again. So, it's like we all like that. We love to watch what we find. I mean, isn't that funny how most of...
Yep.
we show them off. I find that very
Yeah.
interesting. You know,
Yeah, it is.
I love
But
sharing my.
that's what we do. Yeah, I love sharing stuff with everybody.
One day when I'll be gone off this earth, it'll probably end up in your hand. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that evil Ernie will.
Part of being in that little comic book thing is being a ha.
Yeah.
See, they don't ever want to put me on that. What's that show where it's a comic challenge? Where people are showing their best of the best? Slapdown?
Yeah,
yeah, you don't want to go against me on Slapdown.
Or the hunt. I wouldn't mind seeing you on the hunt show either with Tony Sanders and all those. The hunt. That'd be kind of cool.
Now, don't get me wrong. You guys might get some nice Silver Age keys or some nice Golden Age keys, but they're usually 4.0s, or they're usually sometimes they're older comics, because you guys are kind of newer to the and you collect a nice. It's nothing wrong with it. That's very cool. They're very handsome books. But yeah, I've got some very obscure stuff.
If you can sell yourself in the book and you can talk down to the other book, then you'll get the votes. That's how that works. You ready to call it?
Big 80.
You ready to call it, Tim? Or do you want to go a little longer? Okay.
Nah,
all right.
We can call it. Randall should have been here by now.
Yeah.
We had a really nice show planned for everybody. We were going to have in this corner.
We were gonna have. I sent them both the invite, but oh well.
So, maybe next weekend. So
maybe next
everybody tune in next weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, tune in next weekend.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the support.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, Tim. You got anything going on your channel?
Yep, I'm trying to get another haul together. I want to do one more hauling booty show before I hit that big Christmas gig that I'll be doing. So I want to get at least one of those under my belt, and maybe I'll do another Into the Vault video so you can see a little bit more of what I've got in my other rooms, and you guys can see what I have.
When you say Into the Vault, you have to say, the amount of books.
Yes, welcome to the Big 80.
Yeah.
That's the first time I actually did that math.
Yeah. Hey, aren't you glad we did it?
Yeah, that's a lot of comics. And a short box holds about 150 to 170, and I know mine are packed pretty tight.
Yeah.
I usually leave a little bit of wiggle room, but most of them are pretty freaking tight. I'm outgrowing boxes, so yeah. It's very close.
I know you have a Tarot #1. Is your Tarot #1 graded?
My Tarot no, it's raw. Most of my books are raw. I'm just starting to get into graded books. Okay. I've got maybe 4 short boxes of graded books.
Okay. Yeah, because I know you have Tarot 1 all the way up to now, right, or no?
Oh no, I just got lucky and picked up issue 1. That's it. I don't have. I might have issue 50. And I think I might have issue 100. Right. And that's about it.
Yeah, when he reaches over 300, he's gonna be the one that beat I think he's gonna be the one that beat what is it? McFarlane though. Yeah, because he's actually wrote the whole story the whole time. McFarlane's not written Spawn the whole time, right?
What issue is he on now?
He's on 119.
119. He's got a long way to go.
Yeah, but it's not that long. Yeah, I bet you, it's gonna go like this, and he's gonna be at 300.
How many issues does he put out a year?
What is it? Every 2 weeks, what is it?
2 months?
You would know every 2 months or something like that.
6 issues a year.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
Oh yeah. But still,
by that time, Todd McFarlane will be in the 500s.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, but still, yeah. Well, Savage Dragon might beat him before that. So,
Savage Dragon can't catch up to Spawn. They just can't. He can't do it by himself. The only reason why Todd's done it so well is because he's had other people working on the books. And that's that, Eric Larson was right. He says, congratulations on 301. However, you didn't write and draw every single book like he did. And even the one book that he didn't draw, the Jim Lee issue, he went back and redid it just so he can have his own issue. No bags on any books. All of my books are bagged and boarded.
So bag and boarded, so when a short box is bag and boarded, it's 100 and something books. But when they're not bag and boarded, there's more. You can fit more in the box, right?
Yeah, you can fit almost. I want to say it's 180, I think, or 170 with no bags and board. I think it's 150 or 160 with bags and boards.
Okay.
And some of them are, like I said, some of them have more than one board in them. Some of them have Mylars. Some of them have Mylites.
Right. All right. We'll call it now. All right, guys. You guys know who this is. You guys know what this is. It's your boy Jeff, or aka the Cantonese Comic Kid. I have Cantonese Comic Wednesdays. Episode 42 drops this week on Wednesday at 1. And then I have Comic Books with a Hook Show with Robert. Then I have Silver Age Sunday with Conquistadors with Stay Puft and Steve and everybody else. And Hialeah. So be on the lookout, guys. Just check us out. We'll see you guys later.